It's another big week for Nintendo Switch deals and this new eShop sale. I like it so much, I'm actually planning a second video in a couple of days, so do watch out for that. As always though, today I'm covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, and I've got two winners to announce later in the video for a $10 eShop gift card each. I've also got two more to give away. If you want to enter, it is simple, drop a comment down below, I'll announce the winners next Saturday. Alright, I do these giveaways every week, so be here for them, and if you do enjoy the video today, do me a favour, subscribe. It helps out the channel a huge amount. Now, let's get into it. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is on sale, and yeah, this one's great fun. It plays surprisingly well on the Switch, performance is solid, visuals are sharp, and while you can definitely feel its PSP roots, especially with the linear level design, I think it still holds up as a compelling spin on the Final Fantasy VII universe. I actually played it back in the day, had a blast, and honestly, I think it's just as enjoyable now with a full HD overall. This isn't a basic port either, it's a proper remaster. The visuals are redone, all dialogue is fully voiced, and the soundtrack has been reworked by the original composer. It adds a lot of atmosphere to the story as well, in particular. Now here you play as Zack Fair, a young upbeat soldier operative who gets pulled into events that lead directly into Final Fantasy VII. It's basically this great look at the world before Cloud's journey, and Zack brings a really different kind of energy to it. The combat then is in real time, it's flashy and faster paced than, the original game, which was turn-based. And yeah, I will say it's not as deep as modern action RPGs, but it is overall just super snappy, super fun. Also the DMW system, a roulette triggers during story and combat. It adds a nice bit of, chaos. So yeah, if you're a Final Fantasy fan or you played the remake and you want kind of more, character history, I think this is a great pickup. And yeah, it's matching the low price, so even better, it's 50% off, and you can check out my full review below. Vernal Edge is one of those underappreciated gems that more people really need to check out, and at 50% off, that is a new low price and honestly a steal. What really pulled me in was the visual style initially. It's pixel art, yes, but it's incredibly detailed and vibrant. Every area here feels handcrafted and just a great use of color and atmosphere. Then you've got the combat, which is really where the game comes to life. It's fast-paced, fluid, and surprisingly deep. A whole bunch of combos, spells that you can mix together. Just really satisfying fights overall. I think juggling enemies mid-air or dashing around them and then casting spells. Great fun for a Metroidvania. The world itself then is made up of floating islands, and you actually get to fly between them in your little airship, choosing your own path, which has a nice kind of open-ended feel to the exploration. The story then follows Vernal on a personal revenge quest to track down her estranged father, and along the way you'll meet some strange characters, dig into a mystery of what happened to this kingdom, and uncover a few surprises that I definitely won't be spoiling. It's just a really tight, well-crafted game that didn't get enough attention when it launched, but I think at this price, again, great time to jump in. The Land Beneath Us is on sale for 35% off a new at a low price. It's one of the more unique games I've played recently. It mixes grid-based movement with fast-paced, combo-driven combat, all wrapped in a puzzle-heavy roguelike structure. Now, I covered it in a full video, link down below, but it's a great pick if you're after something just unique. You play as the ultimate soul harvester on a mission through the mythological underworld of Anrin, using soul technology to take down enemies and collect souls. There's a Welsh history to this game, I definitely pronounced that underworld name wrong there. But look, the world's weird and packed with secrets, with lots of lore if you do want to dive in. Combat then is tight and strategic, and yeah, you string together moves, time dodges, and build out a loadout from a surprisingly wide arsenal. Everything from axes and spears to laser pistols. There's proper depth here too, from branching skill trees to build variety dependent on your playstyle. So yeah, like if you're into games that reward planning and quick reactions, definitely give this one a shot. It's really unique combination. Deliver Us the Moon is one I absolutely adore. It had such a strange stop-start journey to the Switch, originally announced, then cancelled, finally dropped out of nowhere. Thankfully, it was worth the wait. This is a cinematic, story-driven sci-fi thriller that shifts seamlessly between first and third-person perspectives, and for me, the standout moment is the launch sequence early on. It's tense, immersive, and it really sets the tone for what ends up being, I think, a deeply atmospheric experience. Now you'll be playing as a lone astronaut sent to the moon on a last-ditch mission after Earth's resources have been drained and the lunar colony, once a critical power source, has suddenly gone silent. What follows is a mix of exploration, suspense and puzzle solving, with some light platforming and driving segments mixed in. You'll navigate the moonscape though, float through zero-gravity environments and solve environmental puzzles that are grounded in the world's sci-fi logic. There's no combat, just atmosphere, tension, and a creeping sense, I guess, of isolation as you uncover what happened. But yeah, I've also thought this one personally was genuinely emotional at times, especially as you piece together audio logs and messages from the crew who were left behind. Now, I actually played the sequel as well on PlayStation. I'm hoping that comes to the Switch too. Now, I will say, look, granted, this game is not perfect on the Switch. Performance is pretty much where it needs to be. Visually, it can look very rough around the edges at times, but I think the narrative and the gameplay with this one just ends up winning out. For sponsoring today's video with their Air 2S glasses, and they're some of the most impressive AR glasses I have used. From the crisp visuals to the audio and the comfort, they really do it all. So first, the visuals. You get a 201-inch screen, so basically private cinema on your face. With 10 brightness levels, you can adjust for any lighting, even in dark settings. And yeah, I've been using them a ton for gaming and also watching things like YouTube, and clarity has been fantastic. The audio as well, just as good. They are the only AR glasses with 4 speakers, delivering quality sound with great bass and highs. Plus, Whisper Mode 2.0, it ensures no sound leakage within 15 centimeters, so your audio, it stays private, even in those public spaces. Now, setup then is super simple. For phones, just one single cable, lovely stuff. And for the Switch, there is the Joy Dock, a portable, lightweight dock with a built-in battery to power itself and even charge your Switch. Beauty of this is no bulky wired dock, just one cable that connects to the back of your system, making it perfect for gaming on the go. They even include an accessory to attach it right on the back. Finally, at just 78 grams, and probably my favorite bit actually, they are comfortable for long sessions, and the adjustable temple ensures that perfect fit. If you wear glasses, they've got an accessory to fit your prescription lenses too, and most of all, I really like the shape. They look like normal glasses. You've probably seen them all out there, you know, bug-eyed variations, etc. These ones, they look, well, let's face it, like Ray-Bans. Check out the link in the pinned comment. Now, once again, huge thanks to RayNeo for sponsoring this video. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: A Shredder's Revenge is 35% off, matching the low price, and honestly, this is one of the best beat-em-ups you can grab on the Switch, right alongside Streets of Rage 4, which, funnily enough, also shares the same developer and publisher. But this is a perfect blend of nostalgia and modern design. It fully channels the energy of the 1987 cartoon, from the pixel-perfect visuals and color schemes to the humor and the classic sound effects. What really makes it work, though, is the gameplay. It might look old school, but it plays buttery smooth, with each turtle offering their own moves, combos, and unique feel. So whether you're solo then or playing co-op, local or online, it holds up brilliantly. The campaign, though, sees you battling your way across iconic locations like the sewers, the rooftops, Coney Island, as you face off against a Shredder, Krang, and all of the Foot Clan goons in your way. It's packed with boss fights, secret challenges, and really a nice sense of progression through its world map system. You'll also unlock extra characters like Splinter and April along the journey, which definitely keeps you coming back. And one of the biggest surprises for me is just how much depth is tucked into the combat: air juggles, dash attacks, team-up moves. If you're playing multiplayer, it's far more basically than just button mashing. And if you have got a group of friends to play with, up to 6 players at once leads to absolute chaos, but of course, in the best possible way. Top of this, then, the list keeps on coming. There's also a survival mode and tons of reasons to jump back in. So yeah, this one is basically a passion project through and through. That is very clear. And whether you grew up with TMNT or just want a tight, kind of satisfying beat 'em up, it is more than worth grabbing. And at 35% off, matching the low price, I think it is well worth it. You can find my full review in the pinned comment if you do want more details. Tchia is 60% off, matching the low price, and while it's not perfect, especially visually, with a clear downgrade on the Switch, the gameplay still shines. It's a tropical open-world adventure, and it's got genuine charm to it. The real standout mechanic here, it's called soul jumping, which lets you take control of animals and objects across the world. And yeah, I think it's as fun as it sounds, soaring through the sky as a bird, diving into the ocean as a dolphin, or launching yourself across the map as a coconut. There's just this unique sense of freedom here that reminds me of the sandbox experimentation at times in Breath of the Wild, even though it is on, of course, a much smaller scale. Now, gameplay-wise, you'll be playing as Tchia on a mission to rescue her father from a tyrant. You'll be exploring a beautiful island chain by boat, on foot, and through the air. The climbing and gliding systems are physics-based and surprisingly smooth, letting you interact with almost anything in the environment. There's also a fully playable ukulele you can use to trigger special events like changing the weather or attracting animals. There's even a light rhythm minigame baked into the story. Encounters then are kind of light puzzle combat against different enemies. They made a cloth very kind of creative. But yeah, definitely more creative at the same time than difficult. And the story is told through fully voiced cutscenes in traditional languages with English subs. It's good stuff, this one, in my opinion. I know it got mixed reviews, so find my video down below. Nier Automata is 50% off and matching the low price, and if you've never played it, you are in for something truly special. This game is full of surprises. Just when you think it's over, it starts again in a completely different way, shifting perspectives, gameplay styles, even genres without ever losing the momentum. It is a post-apocalyptic action RPG with a surprisingly emotional core, layered storytelling, and philosophical undertones that go far deeper than expected. But more importantly, it plays brilliantly. Combat is fast, fluid, and stylish, and the Switch version holds up far better than you'd expect, running smoothly and looking fantastic docked or handheld. Now you play as 2B, an android soldier fighting to reclaim Earth from the machine life forms that forced humanity to the moon. But what starts as a simple kind of war narrative quickly spirals into something far more layered as the game begins to explore themes of consciousness, identity, and purpose. The open world here, it's bleak but beautiful, filled with haunting ruins and quiet corners, and the soundtrack is incredible. Just completely unforgettable, in fact. There's also then an included DLC pack with extra costumes and arena challenges if you do want to push the combat system even further. What really stands out then, though, is the way the story unfolds across multiple playthroughs. You're not just replaying the same events, you're seeing new angles, uncovering secrets, and gradually understanding the true scale of the conflict. It is one of those rare games that rewards your time tenfold, and by the time you hit ending A, you'll realize just how masterfully everything was planned. Them's Fighting Herds is 60% off right now, a new low price, and yes, this is basically My Little Pony turned into a legitimate fighting game. If that sentence intrigues you, even slightly, you are the audience. If not, probably skip it. But here's the thing, it's really good. The visuals are sharp, the animation is fluid, and the controls feel just incredibly tight. It uses a 4-button combat system that is easy to learn but surprisingly deep, and each of the animal fighters brings their own distinct flavor. There's also a magic meter and juggle decay mechanics that gave kind of a serious competitive edge to the game. And now, I will say here, the story mode tries to mix things up with top-down platforming and exploration. Easily the weakest part of the game, just doesn't feel as polished as core fighting, but everything else here is incredibly impressive. There's rollback netcode for smooth online play, a great training room with combo trials, and a really charming pixel lobby where you can hang out and customize your avatar. So yeah, this game knows exactly what it is, who it's for, and it really kind of leans into it hard. So yeah, expect heart, humor, and a genuinely great fighting system. Talos Principle is 87% off right now, a new low price. So yeah, if you've been holding out, this might be the moment. This one's a real gem as well, a thoughtful, atmospheric puzzle game that somehow runs surprisingly well on the Switch, even though it really, shouldn't. I think visually as well, it holds up better than you'd expect, and the performance, more than solid. Now, you play as a sentient AI, waking up in a strange, ancient world, a simulation, really, tasked with solving increasingly complex puzzles that test your logic, perception, and at times your patience. These aren't throwaway brain teasers either. There's over 120 puzzles here, and many of them involve manipulating lasers, moving drones, even messing with time. But what really makes the Talos Principle special is the philosophical undercurrent that runs through everything. As you explore, you'll uncover terminals, QR codes, and messages left behind by others, each diving into themes like humanity, free will, and consciousness. It is just beautifully written, with a haunting, reflective tone that lingers long after you do put it down. It's also completely non-linear, so you can pick your path through this world and puzzles in the order that suits you. So yeah, a brilliant game and an absolute steal of a price. Boomerang X is 90% off a new low price, and this is one of the most fluid, stylish action games I've played on Switch. Now, sadly, the studio behind it shut down not long after the launch. In fact, feels like a massive loss because once you play it, you'll understand why that stings. This, though, is a first-person action game where your main weapon is a razor-sharp boomerang, and the movement is the real standout. You're not just tossing it to enemies, you're flinging it and then slingshotting yourself through the air towards it. You're using momentum and mid-air precision to dance around these arenas. You unlock powers as well as you go, things slowing time, and every ability you earn just makes the combat feel more satisfying. It's not a particularly long game, but it doesn't need to be. Every moment feels refined, tight, and genuinely exciting. The Switch version as well, buttery smooth, which is crucial given how fast this combat is. I've linked my review below, but if you like kinetic arena-style action with a unique movement system and tight design, this is a must play. Yeah, definitely check out my video. Sludge Life then is 80% off a new or low price, easily one of the weirdest games I've played on the Switch in the best possible way. If you're after something strange, experimental, and just totally its own thing, this is absolutely one to check out. It's an open world, first-person adventure where you're a graffiti tagger exploring a polluted, corporately owned island covered in sludge. That alone should tell you the vibe here. It's more about exploration and attitude than combat. Think climbing on rooftops, tagging graffiti spots, talking to bizarre NPCs, and just uncovering strange little secrets. There's even a dedicated fart button. You can smoke cigarettes. There's a cat here with 2 bottles. It's absurd, surreal, but oddly chill all at once. The writing's sharp though, the world is full of character, and the whole thing just feels like a punk art project come to life. So yeah, if you're looking for something truly offbeat that doesn't play by the rules, this is your game, and you can find my review in the pinned comments. Our 2 winners of the week then are on screen right now. Congrats both. Drop me an email for the code. Everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Saturday's video. Princess Peach Showtime is our final game in today's video, but once again, remember, I will have another video for this sale in the next few days. But about this game anyway, can't say it's a masterpiece, honestly. I still had fun with it though, for, you know, what it is. It's a breezy, cheerful platformer with some really fun ideas. Don't come here expecting a tough challenge. I can't imagine many people are going to read Princess Peach Showtime and expect, you know, a challenge. But look, if you like the characters and you want something a little bit chill or even polished, it delivers. Story's cute, masked villains named Grape and the Sour Bunch have hijacked the Sparkle Theatre. Peach basically teams up to save them. And yeah, it's all about transforming into a bunch of different roles: sword fighter, cowgirl, a detective, mermaid, ninja, the list goes on. Each role basically comes with its own gameplay mechanics, which keep things here feeling, you know, fresh throughout the adventure. There's also action rehearsals that act like challenge stages, dress customization options if that's your thing, and a theatre hub filled with secrets and collectibles. So yeah, this one is fun, it's chill, it's very, very kid-friendly, of course, but I think there's enough variety as well for adults if they do want to play. So yeah, look, if you're unsure, there's a free demo available right now, so you can try that before you buy, and it's currently 33% off, a new low price. And this video down, what will you be adding to the library this week? Let me know in the comments with that. A shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news, lists, all that good stuff, and soon, very, very soon, Switch 2 content. We're going to have tons of it. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers all.